Most moms think pelvic floor problems come from pregnancy or birth, but what they could be coming from is your bathroom habits. If you're leaking, having pelvic pain, hemorrhoids, pressure or heaviness down below, things you're doing in the bathroom could be causing your problems. And let's talk about what you can do to have less pain, pressure, heaviness, and fix the leaking and discomfort that you're having, okay? So let's talk about what happens when you sit on the toilet. When you sit on the toilet, it signals for your pelvic floor to relax, and this allows the sphincter that holds your urine to open so you can pee. So some things you don't want to do that create pelvic floor dysfunction or weakness is hover over a seat, because now you're pushing through your pee because your pelvic floor is engaged while you're squatting and hovering over that seat. So sit down. Even if you're in a public restroom, put something on the toilet if you don't want to actually sit down, but sit your butt down, okay? Also, when you're sitting down, you want things to happen naturally. You don't want to push to pee or be a power peer. This happens to a lot of moms because in 60 seconds, so much our kids can do and get into. So you're like, I have to go as quickly as humanly possible, okay? So you have to be able to just relax and let it go as it can, okay? It's really hard to be able to trust your children while you're in the bathroom, but do what you can to not push and rush peeing. This is not good for your pelvic floor. It creates weakness and dysfunction, which leads into like pain and leaking and all the things you don't want to have happen, okay? So sit your booty down. Next, you don't want to stop the stream of your urine midstream. So often they're like, if you want to know if you're doing it right, just stop the stream. This disrupts the signaling of your brain and your pelvic floor, and it can create, again, problems. So you don't want to do that very often, if at all, okay? Every time you do it, it's affecting the connection and the coordination of your bladder, all right? So this leads into peeing just in case. Do you ever get ready to leave the house? You're like, oh, I should go pee just in case. You're training your brain and your bladder to pee at that time. So you're training your brain to go just in case every time you leave the house. So now when you leave the house and you don't go pee, you feel like you have to, okay? Or now your bladder can't get as full and hold as much as it could before because you're constantly going just in case. So now your bladder's elasticity gets smaller. The good news is your bladder is one of the most retrainable muscles in your body. So we can train your bladder and your brain to be able to go longer between bathroom breaks. You should be able to go 2 to 3 hours between the bathroom breaks. However, if you're drinking coffee and caffeine and some teas, what can happen is those are irritants to your bladder, so they irritate it and they make you feel like you have to go more. So we don't want to hold those in our bladder, but we want to make sure you're drinking enough water. We want to make sure you're staying hydrated, and then your pelvic floor is strong enough to hold that hydration. Sometimes, getting on a little sidebar, but sometimes hydration like water is just not enough. You need something else. I learned this the hard way during my pregnancy and my postpartum with my first boy, with my first baby. And so instant hydration has been my go-to, not just for me, my kids will drink it too. My husband and I have our own subscriptions because water just isn't enough. And when you're dehydrated, it truly affects everything. When you're pregnant, when you're postpartum, this is especially important, and you want to be able to feel your best. So make sure you're getting some type of electrolytes in there. Make sure it's a good quality and you like the flavor and you can actually drink it and all of those things. That's my little sidebar. Hydration is important. Water isn't enough, but we want to make sure you're drinking enough. So if plain water isn't, a lot of people don't like the flavor because it's flavorless, so you don't drink enough. And you think you are, but you're not. You should be drinking like half your body weight in ounces, okay? Half your body weight in ounces, especially during pregnancy and postpartum. You need a lot of water. But that can feel like you're constantly using the bathroom because you're constantly drinking. So we have to gradually train your body how to be able to hold more water. We can't just go from 30 ounces to 80 ounces. We have to gradually get there so that way your body and your pelvic floor can help manage the new fluids that you're drinking, okay? Next up, this is a heavy one. Ready? Pooping. You're probably pooping wrong. If you've had hemorrhoids or constipation, or you feel like you really have to hold your breath and strain to poop, you're affecting your pelvic floor and it's making your hemorrhoids worse and more painful. So the first thing you can do, get a squatty potty or a step stool and put your feet flat on this, okay? This is gonna be really important to have an easier path for your bowel movements to get out without having the straining or the pushing. You're not holding your breath, you're not bearing down. You're just breathing through this to allow the stool to come out. Okay, this is very tricky. I get it. We want to make sure your stool is soft enough, so make sure your diet is good, you have enough fiber, all those types of things. If you're struggling with constipation, instead of doing like Miralax and magnesium citrate, there's little capsules. You can take some of those. Always consult with your provider. This is not medical. This is always consult with your provider. But that can help make your stool softer, and it can make it easier for you to go. Other things you can do if you're not pregnant, doing some belly massage, making sure that the stool is able to get through your intestines and your colon, okay? If you are pregnant, doing some like mobility things throughout your abdomen, like some motions, so that way it can move through and it doesn't stay stagnant and stuck, okay? So when you're pooping, you have to breathe. Don't hold your breath, don't strain and push. Get yourself a little squatty potty. If you are struggling with hemorrhoids, anything but, literally anything but, B-U-T-T, there's a cream. So if you're having pain with it, there's this ointment. You guys, it's amazing. It smells really good. It's so soft. It lasts a long time. It's amazing. We have the anything itch because my kids have a lot of like eczema issues and things like that, or they used to. And so we've used that. Both of them are amazing. So if you're struggling with hemorrhoids, and in the meantime, while you're changing your bathroom habits so you can improve your hemorrhoids and the pain, that would be something that I would recommend, is the anything but. Okay, it's just a really nice product. It's great. Practice these, okay? Change how you use the bathroom, because how you're using the bathroom is affecting how your pelvic floor functions. So if you're struggling with any pain, peeing yourself when you don't want to, coughing, sneezing, laughing, jumping, starts in the bathroom. And then instead of just throwing exercises at you, I have created the BSR method. This method allows you to be able to get back to what the heck your pelvic floor is and supporting your pelvic floor and your pelvis. So that way you can have less pain and leaking throughout your day before we even get to the exercises. Exercises can just cause more strain and stress on your body and your pelvic floor if we don't address the problems that are taking place within your body. I hope that makes sense. So down below, the 5-minute Momma Relief Reset is that for you. It is your, it's 5 minutes a day, implementing the BSR method for 5 days. So that way you can put it all together by day 5, and it can change how you feel. So many moms who have went through this have said that they've noticed significant difference in how they feel and how they move. Some weren't quite significant, but they did notice differences that they were able to keep up with and manage. So don't just settle and struggle with pain and leaking and discomfort and weakness. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's see what's going on. There's some links for everything down in the bottom. Make sure you subscribe and you come back and check this out. I would love for you to join the 5-minute Momma Relief Reset, and let's practice your bathroom habits. Let me know what you changed and what was helpful.